everyone, it is Jaden and welcome back to another video. And for this week's video, I'm going to be flipping through my New York City journal. I just got back a couple of days ago and I immediately got to work on putting this bad boy together. So let's flip through it. Here is my New York City journal. It is in this cute little 3-ring binder that has like a glittery sleeve and this cute little heart clasp. Now, I did not bring this binder along with me when I went to New York City. I instead had this little field note that I used just to kind of write down everything that happened and just to keep track of everything. And then I also had a little canvas bag that I used to keep track of like receipts and stuff like that so that they wouldn't get messed up in my bag. Now, let's get on to the fun part by flipping through this little guy. Alright, so first up is the little cover page. I just used some scrapbooking paper to cut it out and then decorated it with some cute stickers. This little keychain is a Line Friends character. I believe their name is Coney. And I went to the Line Friends store, which you'll see that later on, but I got a little blind bag keychain and this was the one that I got. So after the little cover, I then had my packing list. So here's like all of the random stuff and then my clothes. I was going to like separate it into different categories other than this, but then I just did it and I got messed up. So that's why it kind of looks a little weird. I then had like some cute scrapbooking paper, which I used this as like an opportunity, like putting together this journal as an opportunity to use up some like random of like these little scrapbooking cards and stuff like that I had. So this one says packing it all in, and then I did a little trip playlist. All of these songs are based in New York except for the last two actually, or I don't think Rockaway Beach is either. I'm not 100% sure. As you can see, I accidentally like messed up the writing because I grabbed the wrong pen, so this isn't like a very good, like it should be blue, purple, pink, but as you can see I messed that up down here, but that is okay. And then for the back of this card, I just put groove to the music and just some cute like washi tape that I thought like went along with it. I then did a what's in my bagoo. So this is a like new bag that I got for this trip because I have been influenced by people on TikTok. I got a medium denim size one and oh my god, can this thing hold a pile of crap. I had all of this in my bag, plus I was able to carry around like a water bottle too. And then this is my little bagoo tag. I had decorated it with some cute little button pins and some other little keychains, and this is like a little hand sanitizer container. But I put what's in my bagoo, so like gum and body spray, ginger chews, Tylenol, you know, a little first aid kit, you know, just some stuff that I may need. But yeah, honestly, I kind of get the hype now with these bags because like I said, they can hold a pile of crap. Like I can understand why people might use them for like work or like traveling and stuff like that, because I was honestly quite impressed with how much stuff it could hold. So now let's get on to the good stuff, which is the trip. So in this journal, I did like a whole like overview of the day, and then I did individual pages for like certain things. So here is day one. For breakfast we went to Chick-fil-A, so that's kind of like what this is, but I just made it like a little collage. For day one I did a red and yellow theme, and then day one was June 26th, which was a Wednesday, and like I said, we got some breakfast at Chick-fil-A before hitting the road. We hit quite a bit of traffic, especially in Pennsylvania. Like I was expecting that closer towards the city, but there's a pile in Pennsylvania. So here's like a picture of that. I also documented how many of those Tesla Cybertrucks that I saw. Like those things are so ugly, and they're even uglier in person. It's honestly insane. This was probably the hottest day that we were there. It says 91 when I took a picture, but at other points it was even hotter than that. We didn't get to the city until around like 5 p.m., maybe a little bit later than that. So we just got dinner and then just headed back to the hotel and rested. We got dinner at Scar's Pizza, which some say is like the best pizza joint in New York City. It wasn't bad. Granted, I did just get a plain slice of cheese pizza, so maybe some of the other flavors or kinds of pizza would have been good, but I'm a little boring, so I just got cheese. Oh, also that night it was like raining really hard, and I love like listening to storms and stuff like that, and that was so nice. You could hear it really well in our hotel room. But here's like my little page just for Scar's Pizza. There's my pizza, and then I found this online of like their little logo with the dog, and then like here's like the storefront. That's what it looked like. It was thankfully pretty close to our hotel, so we were able to walk there, and our hotel was in Chinatown, which this is my third time to New York City, and I had never been to New York City's Chinatown before, and I thought it was super cool. Alright, I then did just a very simple day one recap, just hitting some of the main points of what we did. Again, of course, keeping that yellow and red scheme. And then I went on to day two, which included a lot more stuff. Again, some pictures I had taken as part of the collage, and then a receipt, and then some other little random stickers just to beautify the page. Now for day one, to start off, we got breakfast at Essa Bagel. The second time I was in New York City, we got bagels from Essa Bagel, and I thought they were pretty good. We walked, which I didn't even feel this long, but we walked from our hotel to Essa Bagel, and it was literally 1.3 miles. But it honestly did not feel that long, and I'm kind of surprised that we walked all that way. And then after that, I really wanted coffee, of course, so I wanted to try like a local coffee shop, or just one that's like not in my area. So I went to 787 Coffee, which has an iced coquito latte, and it was so good. After that, we went to the 9/11 Memorial and Museum. So this is a picture from the South Memorial Pool. The North one was being cleaned at the time, so it didn't have like the water or anything in it. And then after looking at the memorial pools, we headed into the museum. The museum was absolutely huge, and there was so much information. I honestly could not, because I was born in 2003, so I was not even alive yet when 9/11 happened, and I could not imagine what that would have been like. That was probably absolutely horrifying. Yeah, I just couldn't imagine. That would have just been, it's just like such a tragic event that happened in American history. And unfortunately, there's been a lot of like things that have happened afterwards, like in terms of like people suffering from health conditions after 9/11. Then there's also an issue of racism that came from 9/11. And there's a lot that you could get into, but I'm not going to get into that right this minute. But after after looking through the museum, I wanted to go to the Pop Mart store, which was in the Oculus, I believe it's called, which was like right across the street from the museum. I got the Justice League Childhood and then a Peach Riot blind box, and these were the two figures that I got, and these also happened to be the two figures that I already had, so I'll probably just like resell them on Mercari or something and try to get a little bit of my money back. I was hoping I would have been lucky, because earlier that day something very exciting happened, which you will see later on. But after that, we headed back to the hotel just to rest before the musical, because the musical wasn't until about 7 o'clock. And I just had a headache, and it was really hot. And, you know, sometimes when it's hot, you can just kind of not feel great. So we just headed back to the hotel. I watched some Shameless, because I absolutely love that show. But once it was getting near to the time of the musical, we headed to Times Square for some dinner. We went to Junior's, which I'd been there before. I just got a grilled cheese, you know, nothing very exciting. And then we went to the musical. So we were seeing The Outsiders musical, which I absolutely loved. I thought it was absolutely amazing. Everybody sounded incredible. You know, The Outsiders was like a book I had to read in school. I personally read it in 8th grade, and it was one of those books that you read in school that like I actually like really enjoyed and really loved. So it was super cool seeing the musical. I had also, like before this, I had been listening to the cast recorded album, and I fell in love with it, and it was so cool seeing like these songs that I fell in love with performed live. If I had the chance, I would 100% see this musical again. I absolutely loved it. But after the musical was over, I wanted to do like the stage door, which is like when the cast will come out and they'll greet people and sign autographs and stuff like that. My dad at first was like, I'm not going to stand here too long, but once people started coming out, he had to wait the entire time because I wanted to meet everybody. The stage door for the Outsiders was super busy. There was a lot of people. There was like barricades lined up, but I was kind of more towards the end of that, and thankfully I was able to get a pretty good spot, even though it took me a while to get out of the theater. Here's one of the cast members popping out of the window before they came down to do the stage door. And then these are all bracelets that I made for the cast members. They say Stay Gold on them. And after that, we went back to the hotel. Now, let's get into kind of more in detail of the stuff that happened throughout the day. All right, so I had mentioned that I had some pretty good luck. Pretty good luck. And here it is. So for fun, I had signed up on the Lucky Seat lottery to try to win tickets to see Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club, which is another musical. I had signed up to see the Wednesday show at 8 p.m. and then the 7:30 p.m. show on Friday. Now for the Wednesday show, I was waitlisted and then I eventually lost. However, Thursday morning, I got a text saying that I had won, which was absolutely insane. Both the tickets were only $25 a piece, so $50 for both tickets. And it's very hard to see. Let me try to lift this up a little bit. But here's the stage, and then the circled seats, or like this little circle, are the seats that I had. Literally insane how close we were. Honestly, I couldn't believe it. I was like, when I got this text message, I was looking at my phone at directions at the time, and I literally like had to stop in my tracks. I could not believe it. I was so freaking excited. And then after that, like I said, we ate at Essa Bagel. So here's just a little page about that. I had they like double wrapped it in like this parchment paper with like their logo on it. So I turned that into the background, and then I used this really cute bagel sticker from Wool Blossoms just to decorate the page. This is the like menu from Essa Bagel, and I paper clipped it shut because if I didn't, it would have came out, but this definitely added a little bit of heft to my journal. I then used this little Rise and Grind card for a picture of my coffee from 787, which the coffee was served in a bag like the ice drinks were, and I thought that was so freaking cool. I had never seen that before, but like I said, this drink was absolutely amazing. They also have like these special like whiskey and rum infused coffee beans, which don't have alcohol in them, but for this drink I got the rum infused beans, and honestly 10 out of 10 would most definitely get again. It's also so refreshing on a very hot day. Here are some pictures from the 9/11 Memorial and Museum, and then this is the South Pool, and then all of these other pictures are from inside the museum. There was a lot of places in the museum where you actually couldn't take pictures, but these are all in the places that you could. There's some artwork, there's a fire truck, there's this nice quote which I really like that says, "No day shall erase you from the memory of time." I thought that is such a lovely quote. And then this is actually from the bag, because we went in the gift shop and we got a sticker, a magnet, and a tote bag, and this is like the bag that they put everything in. So I cut it up and I glued it to this card, and then I put the sticker on the back that says, "Remember September 11th, 2001. It has the World Trade Centers on them. And then here is the little thing about juniors. Like I said, I got a grilled cheese. This is just their this is just from their napkins, and then here's a picture of my food. I wanted to get like cheesecake because I personally really love cheesecake. However, I did not want to like get an upset stomach or anything before the show, so I passed on that. And then here is some stuff from the musical. So here's like the seats. We were up high in the mezzanine, but I'm not 100% sure how you pronounce that. But we were in like the second to last row, but honestly, it was still like such great seats, and like being that high up, you could like see down and like see the entire stage, which is really great. Here is the outside of the theater. It was the Bernard B. Jacobs Theater. And then all these little things were outside of the theater. And then, so Jason Schmidt, who plays Soda Pop, was replaced by Dan Barry, who did such an amazing job. And then Dan Barry usually plays Paul, but his role was played by Victor Carrillo Tracy. This is a little, I got this off of Etsy. It's a like digital print off where you can customize it to be, like, you can basically just customize it. So I did the date that I saw, the musical, and then of course just put like our section, row, and seats. I then put some, of course, gold scrapbooking paper on the back, and then here's my playbill. Here's me with the playbill, and then here is like part of the stage before everything started. It has the Outsiders on it. Here's the ticket that I printed off, and then I just put a little thing that says good times on the back. I did some more talking about the musical. Here's a picture of Brody Grant as Ponyboy before the musical, about like 5 minutes before it starts. He comes out and sits on stage on this big tire and like writes in a notebook. And then I basically just talked about how incredible it was seeing songs performed live that I fell in love with. Little Brother was absolutely incredible. I love Joshua Boone as Dallas. His emotion that he was able to get in that song was just, oh my god, it was incredible. It was so fantastic. And then here's pictures I took during a final bow. This is actually a screenshot from a video I took of everybody bowing. But here's Brent and Dan, Emma Pittman, who's Cherry, and then Brent is Derry, Dan was Soda Pop, Sky is Johnny, Brody is Ponyboy, and Joshua is Dallas. And then here's everyone else. Here is the little bracelets that I made for the cast. This was the one I was wearing. It just says Stay Gold in it, and then has a little gold star, and then it has gold beads and pearl beads around it. Here's just some stage door tips. And then again, just a little bit of decoration on the back, some cherries, of course, for Cherry Valance, and then like sunsets and like the sun, of course, because that is like, you know, something that shows up a lot in the book and stuff. And then I talked about doing the stage door. So here's some of the cast. I personally did not ask for like pictures with them because I am very shy. But I did get my playbill signed by everybody, which I have right here. Yes, it is crooked in the frame. I know. I kept like trying to fix it and I kept messing it up. Also sorry about the ring light reflection, but here is the signed playbill. But yeah, here's just some more pictures. There's Sky. Like I said, I was really nervous just meeting everybody and giving them the bracelets, but they're all very kind and sweet. Brent Comer, who played Derry, actually graduated from JMU, and that's where I currently go. So along with the bracelet, I also gave him a JMU button pin that I made. And he was really nice. We had a little conversation. You know, he'd asked me when I'll graduate, and he said that he was old when I told him when, and he gave me a hug and stuff, and he was just very, very sweet. They all were. And I just continued talking about that. I then had this little thing that says the best day, and I printed out a picture of my signed playbill and I included it in here. And then this is just a page from the Outsiders. I would like to preface that the book that I used was thrifted, so I could use it for crafting and stuff like that. But this particular page has when Ponyboy recites the Robert Frost poem. And then here is a little day 2 recap of everything that went down that day. Now we are on to day 3. Here's like some pictures of like just in the city, and then the Lion Friend store, and then a little froggy friend. It was a lot cooler, and by cooler I mean like a high of like 77, but you know, better than 91. And this was June 28th, which is a Friday. We got a pretty late start for the day, but around lunchtime we headed to Times Square, got some lunch before heading to 1 Schubert Alley so I could get some Broadway merch. I got a shirt and a tote bag from the Outsiders, and then I got a enamel pin for Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club. Then headed to the Lion Friend store. There's a picture of Jungkook's signature on the big van like statue. I got a couple of things there. I have like pictures of what I got in the bag, so I'll show y'all when we get to that. I then got coffee. Again, there was a Times Square location of 787. Got the same drink again. Very good. Also served in a bag again. And then later that day, before Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club, it was time to get some dinner before heading to that. We were originally going to eat at Ellen's Stardust Diner, but there was a huge line and we didn't think we'd have enough time to get to the musical and also eat dinner and all of that. So we just went to like a little fast food place. And we sat outside and we were feeding the pigeons some fries. And then just here's a picture from outside where we were sitting. And then we got to Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club. If you were over 21, you got a stamp on your hand. I'm not 21 yet, so I could not do that. But you would get a free shot of peach schnapps. There were performances happening in the theater before the show started, which was super cool. We just headed to our seats like right after getting into the club or the theater, but I refer to it as a club because they kind of like transformed it into that. Like you walk down this long dark hallway. It was just super freaking cool, honestly. Also our seats, again, like when I saw like how close they were online, I was like, wow, this is crazy. But seeing it in person, 10 times crazier. Like, holy cow, it was absolutely insane. Also, this was like, I felt silly in my outfit because everybody at like the seats that we had were dressed very fancy in like suits and stuff, and I was definitely not in anything fancy like that. But Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club, also absolutely incredible. I love Eddie Redmayne as the MC. His expressions and like his mannerisms were incredible. I really fell in love with it. I know some people don't like his performance, but I personally really fell in love with it after seeing the Tonys performance, and I don't know, I just really loved it. I thought it was absolutely incredible. But once the show was over, we took the subway back to our hotel, which I personally like. Something about like taking the subway is like kind of fun. I think it's just because I'm not used to it and it's something that's new for me, so I'm like, wow, this is fun. But like to anybody else, it's like, wow, this is not great. But I don't know, I like taking the subway. I used this little card to put the packaging of my little keychain or keyring blind bag. Here's the little friend I got. I love the mini, I don't know how you would say it, but the Lines Friends version were these like the very cutesy style. I absolutely adore it. I think they're so freaking cute. I then got a BT21 magnet plush blind box where I got Chimmy. There he is, so freaking cute. And then I got a Mang plushie, and this is like the little box that it came in. Again, I love Mang, like unmasked Mang, super freaking cute. Like fell in love like the moment I saw it, so adorable. And then here's just another little card about my coffee. This was on the bag of coffee, which you can see right here. Says Caffeinated Human of New York City. And then here's just like a collage with some other pictures and stuff like that. And then here we have Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club. Here's the outside of the club. This is just from like the tickets. And then, so you're not supposed to take pictures. We were given stickers to cover our phones. However, I was a tiny bit sneaky and I did snap a few pics just to show how freaking close we were. So like this was our table with my playbill sitting on it, and like the lamp had like the logo on it, which I thought was really cool. As you can see in like my backgrounds and stuff like that, I did a lot of eye imagery. Here's another one of those digital downloads where you can edit it yourself. So here's the Cabaret one. And it says in here, "Life is beautiful," which is a quote from the play. And then this is a picture I did of my phone, printed it out, stuck it on this camera, scrapbooking paper, and then my dad gave me his sticker as well. So I put his on to like cover up my phone camera just to show like what you were supposed to do. And then on the back, I just put "No pictures allowed" with more of like these eyes. And then here is my little writing about Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club. Like I said, absolutely adored it. Here's like a big cool neon sign that you saw as you were walking down the long hallway to get into the theater. Here's my sticker that says "Keep it in the Kit Kat Club." Here's my playbill. Like I said, everything was super cool and also like very fancy. Like there were waiters like coming up to us asking if we wanted anything. I don't know, it was just honestly kind of insane. But the show is really fun. Of course, it takes that dark turn towards about like halfway through, but honestly, if you know about cabaret, there's a lot of different renditions of it, especially like with like the ending and stuff like that, and I thought this was a very interesting ending. I won't get too much into it, but yeah. And then here's the picture again, sneaky during final bow. I quickly took a picture. This is not zoomed at all. This is literally just like how, let me actually show it to you guys and not show you all another part, but that's literally just like how close we were. Honestly, absolutely insane. And then again, another just day 3 recap of everything that I did. All right, so finally we're on to day 4, which was the day we were coming home, and that was June 29th, which was a Saturday. Here's my little collage. This is some cool like Aerosmith like graffiti that was on the ground. I had to take a picture of it. We went to Essa Bagel again for breakfast. This time we didn't walk, we drove there because we were leaving that morning. And then we just headed home. There wasn't any traffic like there was coming down. I did end up falling asleep and taking a nap about halfway through the trip, which of course was great because it means, you know, you get to sleep through some of the boring road trip back home. Also at Essa Bagel, I got a black and white cookie. It was pretty good. I personally really like black and white cookies. I think they're great. I also got some from my grandparents. But again, not much happened on day 4. It was just coming back home. Again, just a tiny little recap. And then here's some extra stuff that is in the back of this journal. So some random pics that needed a home. These were ones that just didn't end up. These are some of the buildings outside of the 9/11 Memorial Museum. And then I went to the Kate Spade store, and this was like a cute purse that looks like a pizza box, and like these little keychains were like Parmesan cheese and like red pepper flakes, which was super freaking cute. And then I just took a little selfie in the Kate Spade store. And then this says going places. So this is a MetroCat sticker. This is from Radia Raman. I can't pronounce her name. I'll add her name on here. And then that picture from the subway. And then travel buddies, never leave home without them. These are some pictures of my little froggy friend that I took while in New York City. And then here's some graffiti of New York City or street art. There's a lot of super cool street art. I think a lot of these were in Chinatown, and then this was one that I saw as we were leaving, but these are just some of those pictures. And then here's the New York City Hall. This is all the crap that I bought, not including those Pop Mart blind boxes because I'm getting rid of them because I already have them. But here's the Chimney Magnet plush, the sticker. This is a crossbody bag in one of those blind boxes for my cousin, a magnet from the 9/11 Memorial and Museum, as well as a tote bag from there. And all of these dogs are dogs that were like search and rescue dogs or in some way like important during 9/11. Here's my little Ming plushie, super freaking cute. I also got a Ming sticker sheet. Here's the Outsiders t-shirt I got. So it has like the logo, and the back it says we stick together because each other's all we got. I also got the Stay Gold tote bag. I'm a sucker for a good tote bag, clearly. And then here's the Cabaret pin, which is basically, like I said, the logo. And then that is the end of this journal. You know, have a good day. I really hope you all enjoyed me just kind of yapping about everything that happened while in New York City. It was such a fun trip. You know, it was my first time ever seeing a Broadway show, and I absolutely loved it. I cannot wait to go back to New York City. It is such a crazy city, but I really enjoy it. But like I said, thank you all so much for watching this video. I really hope that you all enjoyed it, and I really hope that you all have an absolutely amazing day. Bye-bye!